You know what time it is, hey, it's time for a Q&A. I don't do an intro for my Q&As. I apologize for that. Let's get on into the video. Hey review family, keep it high, keep it tight. My name is J Morris, the review guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one, I'm doing the follow-up to my Q&A video that was released about 2 weeks ago. And the reason I waited so long is I wanted to make this Q&A a little bit different, as well as I was waiting for a milestone. I wanted to take comments from a wide range of videos, not just my Q&A video. I wanted to take some from some videos before it, and I also wanted to cherry pick and get some comments from videos that came after that Q&A video. And for the milestone thing, I wanted to thank you guys for 35,000 views. That really is insane to me. It's extraordinary. I'm just some guy. And it really makes me want to thank you guys for something else too, and that is just the amazing support that I've been given, the comments, the likes, the views, the subscribers. The community that I've been able to build on this platform is frankly still astounding to me. Like I said, I'm just some guy from the middle of nowhere that has a camera and a lot of things to say, and evidently the things that I've had to say have really impacted some other people, and I've gotten some enemies because of it, people that just don't really agree with my opinions, but I have gotten a vast majority more amount of people that agree with my opinions and enjoy my videos. And for that, I thank you all for the community that you've helped me build, because yes, I built this community by doing what I'm doing, but you guys were kind of the thing that helped it start up. I mean, I might be the canvas that you guys are all painting on, but in a lot of ways, you guys are the paint that I'm using to make this big picture. That's basically an analogy that I just made up off the top of my head, but I think if you read between the lines, that fits pretty well. Alright, so let's go ahead and get right into the Q&A video. Hope you guys enjoy. I have a Google Doc opened with all of the information and all the questions and what they're from. I've done a lot of prepping for this, so if you see me look down at any point, that's why. So we're starting off with 6 questions from Bork. This came from the Q&A video itself. The first one asks, favorite guest star for one of your battles? For this, I would probably say it would be Skeep in Vincent Van Gogh versus Andy Warhol, or Dustin in one of the battles that I've had him in. He's been in Boogeyman versus Chupacabra, he's been in Alfred Noble versus J. Robert Oppenheimer, and he has been in Karl Marx versus Adam Smith. Really, oh, and P.T. Barnum versus Buffalo Bill. He's been in a lot of my battles. Really enjoy having him in my battles, so probably one of them. Favorite and least favorite role in any battle? If you guys didn't know, by the way, I do some rap battle stuff on the side. I'm in a community for it and all that, and quite a few of my viewers come from that, a lot of friends that I have. My least favorite would probably be Deadpool in Honeycomb 96's battle, and it doesn't even come from, like, I know a lot of people rag on that battle, but it mostly comes from the fact that I don't do that voice very well, so I don't think it came out as well as it could have. My favorite is probably Lucio in Freshie Canal, Dustin's battle, or maybe one of the times that I've played Pee Wee Herman, really enjoyed that. And recently in Vladimir P's battle, Junkrat versus Rocket Raccoon, I was very proud of that. Yeah, probably one of those. He also asks my dream role in a battle. Most of the people that I can do a fairly good impression of, I have. There are some that I may use in the future for my own battles if I don't get cast, but there's not really a role that I'm just like, oh man, I yearn to play for that role more than anything else. Favorite and least favorite of your battles? I really enjoy Lucy Heartfilia versus Ruby Rose. I think that came out very well. I can't really pick a least favorite one because I love and put a lot of passion into all of my battles, but if I had to choose, it would probably be maybe Mickey Mouse versus Winnie the Pooh, just because I feel like there's a lot that could have came out better about that battle. Favorite genre of music? Heavy metal is my favorite genre of music, but I like pretty much everything from traditional folk, to pop, to K-pop, to rock, to blues, to jazz. I mean, I listen to so much different types of music that I can't really pin it down, but I listen to the most heavy metal. Bork asks, how is your dog? She's doing very well. She's very confused by my setup and all of the lights, but I love you too. This is my dog. This is Sophie. Can you wave to the camera? Say hi, camera! But yeah, my dog is doing fine. Thank you for asking. Next up on the Q&A video comes some comments from Meta Machine. He asked 3 of them. His first question is, would you rather only watch Western cartoons or anime? In this stage of my life, I watch more anime than I do cartoons. If I was younger, I would have chosen cartoons, and there's still quite a few that I can return to that I still enjoy a lot, but at this point in my life, I would choose anime over cartoons, personally. But that's not to say there's not some amazing cartoons. That's a hard thing for me to pick. It's just I watch more anime now. If you could make an appearance in any rap battle series that you haven't been in yet, which one would it be? Well, see, this is an interesting question because I've been in a lot of the ones that, if coming into the community that I would have wanted to be in, some of the opportunities and some of the amazing people that I have gotten the chance to work with really still amazes me to no end. I've been in Skeep's battle, I've been in Eddie's battle, I've been in Dustin's battle, I've been in Frenzy's battle recently, which is a huge thing. But if I had to choose one, I would choose CMRB. I would really love to be in a CMRB. I think, God, their editing has gotten so good. I would love to collaborate with them, love to be in one of their battles, but honestly, I have nothing to complain for because I have gotten a lot of chances and a lot of opportunities to work with some people closely that were in the community long before me, that I looked up to before I was in the community fully, that really are just amazing people and amazing people to work with. So I don't really have anything to complain for, but yeah, I guess if I had to choose one, I'd choose CMRB. How did you find out you could do voices and impressions that I can do? I'm kind of, this is gonna sound nerdy. A lot of times before I started YouTube, I would like talk to myself randomly in weird voices. Now that I think about it, looking back, I've liked to do different voices and funny voices and kind of experiment with my voice quite a long time ago, before even being on YouTube was a notion in my mind, before being in rap battles was anything on my mind. And I guess that ever since I got in the rap battle community, I have experimented more with tones, pitch, as well as my singing, as well as the music I've listened to. I just feel like I have a pretty good vocal range when it comes to being able to do that, and because I acknowledge that, and because I understand that, it opens up the ability and kind of takes away the nervousness and the fear of doing different voices, to where I can feel more comfortable doing higher pitches, lower pitches, graspy kind of lower voices. I can do a ton of different voices, and I guess that just comes from experience, time, and practice. So don't get discouraged if there's certain voices you can't do, because I have a very mid-range voice. My voice isn't super low, it's not super high, so it enables me to do different things. But if you can't do a certain type of voice, practice at it. Watch videos on it. Try to learn how to manipulate your pitch. It can really go a long way. Got 4 questions from TimeLord103 on the Q&A video. The first is, have you ever watched Speed Racer? If so, will you ever use him in a rap battle? When I was younger, I actually had a Speed Racer themed birthday. I saw it at the theaters, and I had a lot of like toys that were based around the movie. It's been so long that I can't really remember a lot of what it's about. And if I'd ever use them in a rap battle, I mean, if the right suggestion came up and if I found some relevance to be able to use him with, but I don't have any plans right now. The second question is, why did you start doing rap battles in the first place? This is going to be really cringy for me to say, but a long time ago, before I joined the community, we're talking maybe 3-4 years ago when I first started getting into ERB, I made rap battles on my Nintendo 3DS. I would record them in one take, write them, find beats, stuff like that, and they were really cringy, but I just enjoyed doing them. I guess ERB inspired me to do it, and then I joined the Epic Rap Battles of History Wikia, where I posted occasional battles there, and then I finally joined the community, and the rest is history. Favorite and least favorite rap battle you've made and why? Already answered that, so you've already heard that by now. Favorite and least favorite ERB and why? My favorite ERB is Blackbeard versus Al Capone, but I also really enjoy George Washington versus William Wallace. George Wallace. And also really enjoy Jack the Ripper versus Hannibal Lecter, Muhammad Ali versus Michael Jordan, Freddie Mercury versus Frank Sinatra. Those are some of my favorites. My least favorite, Sarah Palin versus Lady Gaga, for obvious reasons. I just didn't really like it, and I don't think most people do. Music Frosty 88 asks 2 questions on the Q&A video. The first is, when will you do the track review on the song I did for you? If I'm going to be completely honest, it was on my whiteboard to do it, but I must have written it off by accident, because usually I wash it clean after I do a lot of the videos that I have planned in the week or something, but I'll definitely get to it, so look out for that very soon. Will you dance for Mother Russia? Next one is from Becca Rachel 1, and she asks, why did you become a YouTuber? To be honest, it's kind of a... this is going to be such a shallow answer, might make me sound like a little bit of a rude person, but it was just because I couldn't find the type of content that I wanted to watch. I'm not saying I watch my own videos, most of the time I don't. but a lot of times I would want to hear a review of a song or album I like, and I wouldn't find any, so I'd just be like, hey, I'm just gonna make my own, and I ended up doing it, and the YouTube channel didn't begin as a review channel, it began as a gaming channel with my friend Matthias, and, it became what it became, I guess. So I just did it because there were channels that inspired me, that made me want to venture off into my own thing. I had to go ahead and change my shirt and take my hat off because it's getting pretty hot in my room. Or maybe it's the fact that I just danced to the Russian national anthem. Okay, we got some questions from Finn, aka Red Kirby. He asked 8, and I'm gonna try to blast through these because that's a lot. What's your favorite role you did for someone else? Really enjoy doing Lucio for Freshy Canal. I mean, actually, wait. I already went through this. I don't need to answer that. Who are the best and worst rappers in the community? I don't really look at it that way. I kind of see the value in everyone, but if I had to say someone that I think is, like, the best, I would say Dustin Freshy Canal. He's a fantastic rapper. Mateo, Matt Forio, he's a very good rapper. How many Q&As have you done? At this point, I don't know. I'm not sure. I try to space them out, but I'm not 100% sure how many I've done. How did you meet Bork and Jay? Bork got me into this community. Him and Tuna were instrumental in getting me into a tournament that happened earlier this year, and that's the rest is history. We still talk. And Jughead Jay, he actually messaged me because we share the same name. His name's Julian, and he was like, hey, your name's Julian, and this was right around the time that he joined the community too, so we were kind of like two Julians that joined the community at about the same time, fairly unknown. And look at us now, we're both getting quite a few roles, we're both getting quite a bit of work to do in the community, so we kind of came into this community together, and we've been really good friends ever since. They're both two of my best friends in the community. Who would win in a fight, every Pokemon or a billion lions? I think a billion lions would win even if you had every single Pokemon, but just because there's so many of them. And I actually, like, pondered on this question way longer than I should have. Even if you had legendary Pokemon that could fly, we're taught, like, if you had, like, I don't even remember the name, but the big red bird from X and Y, if you had, like, Mewtwo and those Pokemon, I still think that the lines could stack up on each other. So even if you had every Pokemon using every ability, I feel like the lines would just outnumber them. Because how many Pokemon are there? Like 700 or 800, maybe more, but around that number, I don't think that's any competition. I think the billion lions would win. For they are the apex predators! How does it feel having the honor of being in 2 Henry battles? I know people rag on Henry a lot. I kind of like his battles. I think they're fun. I like any role. I don't really judge it by that. I try to give my best performance to every role that I do. Are you and Multi good? Yeah, me and Multi settled it pretty well. We still have some differences, but a lot of that runs private. If you guys don't know, earlier this year, me and Multi Supervids had a really big fight that shook the community a lot, and it did a lot of damage. It was very detrimental, very toxic to both of us. Truth be told, almost made me leave the community, if I'm being completely honest, because there were sides being took, and it was over a complete miscommunication that was taken the wrong way from both sides, and there were a lot of overreactions, over-exaggerations, assumptions made, and me and him joined a voice chat with a couple other people as kind of almost like a jury, and we talked it over between the two of us, and yeah, we're good now. I wouldn't say that we're, like, friends or anything, but we're definitely on speaking terms again, and we're not, we don't, like, just hate each other anymore. What's your favorite class in WoW? Mage. I've played a mage since I started playing, named JH, for, like, so many years, more years of my life than I haven't. My second favorite class is Monk. And that's all from the Q&A video. Now we're moving on to some different comments throughout different videos. So let's go ahead and get into those. So from my track review for Cattle Decapitations, track and exposition of insides, Trevor Does Things says, Travis's gutturals puts Godzilla to shame. That's what I say about him all the time, is Travis Ryan is one of my favorite metal vocalists, if not my favorite metal vocalist in the game. Some of the noises he can do, he is so versatile. He's such an amazing vocalist. I don't think anyone can not commend him, even if you're not into that type of music. Next up, we have 2 comments from my review of Cap G's album No Cap. The first one coming from Young Sinatra, who says, great review, man, keep it up. A little trivia for you, Cap G had a rapping crew back in the day with his day ones called Kids at Play, Cap, and Chef Cook It Up is one of them. Thank you for that trivia. I have not heard of the others, but I wasn't a huge fan of Cap G, so I'm not sure if I'm going to check it out, but I really like that you enjoyed the review. Thanks, man. The next one comes from DFresh177, and he says, Cap G used to have bars for days, but lately he'd been rapping like Young Thug. Check out his mixtape, EL Southside. It's way better. And kind of the same thing, I can check it out. I'm willing to see artists grow. I just didn't like his style. His kind of nasally, almost lispy type sounding voice. But I will try it if I get the time to. I'll check it out and maybe do a review if I see that I enjoy it more dramatically. But I can't see myself enjoying it that much more because I really did not like Cap G's album. Alright, we have some stuff from Nothing Nowhere, track review for Dread. This video did very good, it got a lot of views. First one comes from Jay Michaels, who says, great video, man. First review I've seen on this song, and I liked your input. I think he is referring to antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds. Keep it up, homie. Firstly, thank you. I appreciate it a lot. And yeah, that's basically what I got through it, is he was talking about depression or anxiety and having pills and medication control him. So I think you hit it right on the head. The next thing actually isn't a question, but it is a little very short conversation that happened between two of my fans, and I liked pointing this out because it really goes to show that there is a community in my channel that doesn't really need me to influence them at all, that just speak between each other as if it's a normal person. And it comes from Mr. Recluse, who says, I've been the biggest Nothing Nowhere fan since the start. I love him. To which Adam Weston replied, he's awesome, and I'm 48, and I love what he's doing. It's like he looked inside my head and interpreted the way that I've been feeling all my life. And Mr. Recluse replied with, talk about it, man. Everything he comes up with is so real in so many people's heads, frowny face. And yeah, first of all, Adam Weston, you're awesome, being almost 50 years old and listening to Nothing Nowhere. You go, man. And when I listened to Nothing Nowhere's album Ruiner this year, God, there was so much of that I related to. He is such a good rapper that has so much emotion, so much heart to him, and boy, he was such an inspiration for so many of my recent songs. He was probably my biggest influence for all of my songs that have released on YouTube ever since. That album had such an impact on me, and I love it so much. Rejector, Ruiner, Reminiscer, Better, Hammer. There's so many tracks on that that really just spoke to me on such a level that I was like, damn. Just like Adam Weston said, it felt like someone was understanding what was going in my head with a lot of the things that I personally deal with on a day-to-day basis, and I enjoyed that album a lot, and Dread was a fantastic track. I can't personally relate to being on any antidepressants or anti-anxiety stuff, but I can understand the sentiment and respect it. Next up, we got a comment from my Revocation album review for The Outer Ones. Nando R says, fair review. I definitely feel this album needs multiple listens to grasp, and I think it's potentially Revocation's best album. I'm feeling a 9 out of 10 after several spins. Yeah, I definitely thank you so much for the support, even though that wasn't like my favorite album of the year or anything. I appreciate that you stay positive. It's really great when people stay positive when I'm not necessarily as big of a fan of something as someone else is. It really makes sense that they put aside, what they are feeling to kind of say, I understand your opinion, I respect your opinion, I don't agree with your opinion, but I still respect it, and I thank you a lot for that. Maybe I need to listen to it again or something, we'll see. From my Deer and Grey Insulated World review, which did very well, we have Kazaki, who says, 50 minutes is rather short for a DEG LP. It's the right length for this one, though, given how heavy it is. Yeah, I think that Deer and Grey is still one of the more interesting Japanese metal bands, as well as more of the kind of avant-garde side of metal in general, and I did enjoy that album a lot. Maybe I didn't really think of the length when I was going into it. I just personally thought it was maybe a little bit too long for my personal taste from the consistency factor, but I still enjoyed that album quite a bit. And on that same video, we have Vlado Lugosi. I'm so sorry. You're foreign. I'm sorry that I mispronounced your name, but he says, Deer and Grey is the best Japanese band. Kyo is a great frontman. He has a fantastic voice, and it's an amazing album. Greetings from Chile. Hi. Didn't know I had any fans from Chile, but that works. You know, now that I think about it, when I looked at my analytics recently, I noticed that I have a really, really huge Spanish-speaking fan base from different Spanish-speaking countries, and I thank you a lot for that. So if you're from any Spanish-speaking country, thank you for the support. I think it was something like 20 or 30% of my fan base is Spanish-speaking. That's insane to me. But yeah, that's basically what I thought about Dir Gray. I think that they're a great Japanese band, and Kyo is a great frontman. I thought the album was very good. He has an amazing voice, just like you said. I think he does some crazy things, and I like the fact that he blends singing and heaviness. Kind of like Travis Ryan, he has an insane vocal range. From my song Explode, ThePeanutbudder says, excellent, love it, departure from other stuff, really nice vocal range. Thank you. The underrated metal albums on my review of Devour TX's album Scotia says, solid review, nice choice of music, winky face. Yeah, Underrated Metal Albums is a great channel. I'm a part of his Discord, and this is actually where I discovered this album, and the band actually shared me on their Facebook for reviewing this album. So it was some nice exposure for the video, did very well, got over 100 views, and this is a great channel if you want to go check him out. He does a lot of, like he says, underground, underrated metal outfits. He does a lot of different genres, so definitely go check him out. Got 2 comments from my track review for Architect's track Royal Beggars. The first one comes from Johnny Simonson. Once again, I am so sorry that these people that put their full names on their YouTube, I'm butchering them. I don't mean to, I swear. But he says, just FYI, they only have one vocalist, Sam Carter. He does both the cleans and the screams. Enjoyed the review, smiley face. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed the review. I enjoyed making it. Enjoyed the song a lot, and I'm getting excited for Architect's album that is coming up. I've reviewed both of the tracks that they've released recently, and that's good to know. I think that what he's referring to is during the video, I believe I said something along the lines of I didn't know if they had multiple vocalists, so it's awesome to know that this guy does both. He sounds really great. We Dead Inside YT commented, blah, I love me some Architects. Yeah, they really are great, and as a progressive metalcore fan, I thought they do a great job. Alright, this is from my album review of Trench by 21 Pilots. Ruskin Bucket says, this is a genuine review and opinion. The fedora just was a no from me. Well, personally, I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, all things aside, I know the hats aren't for everyone. I'm just a hat person. I don't do it for a gimmick. I just enjoy wearing hats personally. Yeah. But I did appreciate that you pointed out the genuine review and opinion thing. Yeah, I try to be honest. I've gotten some huge backlash on some of my videos throughout the year because I have either said that I didn't like something or really did like something that other people did or didn't like. A great example of that is Ghost's album Prequel. I didn't like that album at all, and that has, I believe, my worst, by a milestone, dislike-to-like ratio. There's been a ton of albums that I haven't been a fan for, and I think that people can legitimately tell if you're being honest or not to them, and I try to be honest in my reviews. I try to tell the truth. I try to say what I'm really thinking, because I feel like if I'm being fake and just saying that I like something really when I don't, I feel like people could notice that, and I want to be honest with you guys and give genuine reviews, because I'm trying to look at these albums and songs and stuff like that, bands and artists, from a more critical perspective and formulate my opinions based on that, and tell you guys my subjective opinion, because music in general isn't an objective thing. It's all subjective. So if you don't enjoy my album reviews, if you don't think that if you don't agree with me, if you liked something or disliked something that I liked or disliked, I'm sure that there are other people that have reviewed that same thing that feel the way you do. That's part of the reason why I started this channel, is to give a place where people could maybe agree with my opinions, and it turns out there are a lot of people who do. Also on that video, Tiny Ariel Pearl said, great video, love the new look. She's been around on my channel for a very long time. Appreciate it. I'm not sure if you're saying new look in terms of the way I got my camera set up and lighting, or if you're talking about my hat, but either way, thanks. Got a couple comments from my video about XXXTentacion and Lil Peep and how their deaths didn't really change anything in terms of the grander scheme of how people reacted. And both of these, I believe, misinterpreted what I was saying, and I wanted to clear some stuff up. So TJ says, good video, but I didn't like how you were kind of bashing Peep. Quite the contrary. I was bashing the people that reacted to Peep's death in the way that they did. They glorify drug use. They glorify the conditions in which Lil Peep died in. And I believe that people didn't react accordingly and try to rise up and talk about how these things really do kill and shouldn't be glorified. And Lil Peep should be a martyr in terms of, well, it's hard for me to explain, but I wasn't bashing Peep. I was honestly defending him and saying that that whole video was about how people weren't affected as much by X and Lil Peep's death as they said. They were just affected by the fact that 2 rappers died. They weren't thinking about the circumstances under which they did die. And Thought said, you got X's picture first, but then Peep's name first. I think this video should just be about X or make separate videos. X went out like a soldier, and it should have gotten more responses about guns. Also, much more tragic than Peep. Although I like Peep, it's not on the same level. And I agree and disagree with your post simultaneously. I didn't really do it. The title and the picture, that wasn't intentional. The video was about both of them. It didn't have anything to do with the content of the video, but I understand what you're saying, and I fully agree with that. X's death should have been made about guns. Lil Peep's death should have been about drugs. I wasn't trying to equate their deaths on a level of this person's death meant more than the other. I was just lumping them together because they were both two legends that were formulating this whole new genre that was getting a ton of publicity, that died from two tragic things and were martyrdized by a lot of the rap community, and how that their deaths didn't change how people looked at certain issues and kind of just approached it the same way that they had been approaching it. And that was me trying to get some stuff off my chest about that whole situation and why I personally believe in my own mind that it should have done more for the community and how people reacted about it. So I hope that clears some stuff up. So off of my Napalm Death-Coded Smears and More Uncommon Slurs album review, Roger Astwood said, "I like your consistency, bro. You are very analytical and will go far. Keep it up." Thank you. I try. I'm not the best out there, but I do try to be consistent. There are some days where I don't feel up to it, but I do it anyway. There are some days where I take a day off. Sometimes on the weekends I do, but I try to stay true to this. I've tried to be consistent, and I think people have noticed that. On my Benighted, Dogs Always Bite Harder Than Their Master album review, Demon Dracul or Dracul says, "Hello friend, I love your video and your opinions. You have so much potential. Sorry for my English, but I try to improve it. You have earned a good and deserved subscription. Greetings." It really means a lot to me when I get these messages that are saying that I've earned a subscription, because it makes me know that my hard work isn't going unnoticed, and I can read everything you're saying fine. Your sentence structure seems to be pretty good. There's a couple things that are a little off, but your English is very good, so I wouldn't worry about it, man. Thanks a ton for viewing, and I hope you enjoy my videos. On my favorite YouTuber video, I got a couple people telling me who their favorite ones were. Synclide. I'm so sorry about butchering these names. Said Muselk. Yeah, Muselk is a good one. I liked him more when he did more Overwatch videos, but his Fortnite stuff is pretty fun too. Minecrom said CDN the Third. Not familiar with that channel, but if I get the time, I'll check him out. Also, Minecrom's been around here a long time, so thanks for sticking around, buddy. And then finally, TimeLord103 asks, "Why isn't ERB on this list XD?" Well, I was, in that video, all of those YouTubers are YouTubers that I currently watch right now. ERB isn't making content right now. That list could have been so much bigger if it counted people that I watched in the past, but I was only counting people that I currently watch. Not any questions for this one, but on my song Sync, my original song that got released a couple days ago, I got some support from RantJamz, Snappy Chappy, who made some great fan art for me. Thank you a ton for that. ThePeanutbudder, as well as Demon Dracul. Thank you for checking out that song, and I am glad you guys liked it so much. Got a comment from my Bring Me the Horizon Wonderful Life track review from a guy called Music Life. I'm assuming it's a guy. Me gets on YouTube and sees that my favorite reviewer covers my favorite band's new song. Me clicks immediately. I agree with most of what you said, but I did kind of like Danny's parts, though I've never heard up until this point, so I don't know what he's actually capable of, you know. But yes, I think Ollie wasn't exaggerating at all when he said their new stuff was going to be weird, laughing out loud. I love it because I can relate to it, but I love their old stuff more because I can still relate to it, and it sounds awesome, laughing out loud. Pretty much took the words right out of my mouth with a lot of that. And yeah, if you want to hear what Danny Filth can do, go check out Cradle of Filth. He's a lead singer for that. They're a symphonic black metal band. And I thought he had kind of an underwhelming feature. Did like the lyrics. They were very relatable. And Ollie wasn't exaggerating. Yeah, this new stuff is very strange. But he said it was going to be strange. He said it was going to be odd. And to be honest, I saw it coming. That Bring Me the Horizon is constantly evolving. And I do enjoy a lot of their earlier stuff as well. I mean, yeah, That's the Spirit and Sempiternal are great albums. I'm sure Ammo's going to be a good album, but really, can you beat Suicide Season and There's a Hell? Honestly, can you beat them? No, I don't think you can. Alright, and the final one comes from Music Life as well on my new album review for Jess Glenn's album, Always in Between. We got two different comments. "This is random, but I love your hat." Why, thank you. I love my hat too, and just for you, I will wear it for your last question, buddy. Now I see why you like it. Her vocals are amazing, and I usually don't like pop or R&B. Yeah, I like exposing people to new music. That's a big thing for this channel. I like trying to help other people find some new music that they wouldn't usually listen to. And I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad that I recommended someone new for you to listen to. I'm glad you liked her as much as I did. God, this session was long. I have 40 minutes of footage to edit. Wow. This video is probably going to be a lot shorter than 40 minutes, but it's still going to be a long video, and there's going to be a lot of editing in it. So I thank you a ton for watching it. Please be sure to drop a like because this was a hard video to make and I did a lot of prep work for it. But overall, thank you all for your questions. Thank you all for your comments. I'm sure I'll do another one soon, like in the future. But thank you for 35,000 views. That is a huge milestone for me. And I thank you all for the amazing support that you've given this channel. And I will talk to you guys next time. But until then, as always, my name is J Morris, the Review Guy. And I'm signing off saying farewell.